Hello guys, this is Voss and welcome to my new tutorial where I will be showing you how to sync fades with Twixtor. So yeah, I didn't start, I just put out some markers here so I know when the drop comes. It's like you can see on the waveform as well, but I like to put markers to make it more obvious. Okay, so I got a fade from a guy in AC, I got it for the RC ages ago. So to get started, I'm just gonna put some Twixtor before he shoots. So we mute all audio because Twixtor won't affect the audio, so yeah. And you split the layer, as I did with, if you have a Mac it's Command Shift D, and if you have a PC it's Control Shift D, I think. And you add Twixtor to the splitted layer, the new one, and you change the frame rate to 59.94. And if you have a 29 FPS clip, this won't be as successful because it will be a lot of warping, and if you still set it to 59 FPS, it won't be as smooth. So yeah, what we do is we can click on this arrow and we go into Effects, Twixtor, Output Control, and I click this stopwatch here to put a keyframe at 100. And then I go a couple of frames forward, like 5 or 6, and I put this to about 3, so yeah, pretty smooth. And for maybe little less than a second, and I click this diamond lightning thing to put out another keyframe at 3% again, and then I go a couple of frames forward and I put this up to 140 or something. It depends. If you're making a smooth edit, maybe you want to have just 100, but if you have 140 it will look a lot better in my opinion. And you go frame by frame forward until you see the shot comes. You see here he shoots, so don't go by the hit marker because the hit marker comes a bit after, so try find this orange shooting thing. So if you want to, you can put, you can press Ctrl 8 to put out a marker where it shoots, and then you just drag this thing where you've put the marker on the song, which I will be do again now. So I'll just import some gun sounds here from my pack. World War II intervention shot. Okay, I'll just put this one frame before he shoots, because if you look at the waveform you can see the shot is not immediately, it's one frame forward. So you want that to be synced for it to look as good as possible. And then you go to a point where the score, the plus 200 or plus 500 or whatever, is smooth to not there where you see it's warping. Don't Twixtor that. Wait until it comes about there or something, and you keyframe 140 if you have that chosen, and you go a couple of frames forward and you take maybe 2%. Always take between 1 and 5% to get the smoothest Twixtor. And so I'm just gonna preview this a little fast, lowering the bass. So to put out markers, I'm previewing this to put out markers to know when to sync. So yeah. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Just move this a bit forward because it wasn't exactly at the point. So the first, I always lower the gun sound because I don't like when it's like too loud, like 4 there, and you go into effects and presets, lagging a bit, and you just search bass, so you put on the bass and treble effect on the gun sound, and you take the bass up to about 50-60 and the treble like down to 20 or something, so it should sound smoother now. Let's preview. So yeah, that looks okay, sounds okay. And you go up to the layer where the clip is, and you go, now it's just like chancing because you're gonna adjust them later. put a keyframe at 2% as you did there. This always the same as the latest keyframe. And you change this to 140 again. And you go to the point where the next drop comes, which is here. And then you see it's not perfect here because you haven't shot yet. So you just mark the two latest keyframes and you drag them back. See, only one frame back was enough here. So that makes it long. This makes it, if you drag them to the right, it will be slower, and left will be faster. So there, that's perfect. And then you click the gun sound. I press Command D or Control D, and you just move it. It's the fastest way. And you just do this all over the time. Twixtor here. Maybe go a couple of frames forward. Choose 4. And then, yeah, if it's long between the drops, you might want to put in some cinematics, some good looking cinematics. Like, yeah, to fill out the flow. And you go to the next point where the next drop comes, or the next beat, and you just move these keyframes until there, you see he shoots there. So this is really easy if you look at it this way. And you just copy the gun sound again and remove it to the point where it shoots. So if this is well made, we should have 3 shots synced already. Let me just preview for you. Okay, so yeah, and you just keep doing this. Make sure the score doesn't get warped, because that's really annoying in an edit. So try keep everything clean and without warping. So I'll just sync the 2 last shots here a little fast. Going to the point where the next beat comes, moving the keyframes to, yeah, that's where it shoots. Some shots you don't see very well, but you can see when the aim moves upwards fast, because that's when it shoots. And yeah, and if you want to make the Twixtor a bit even cooler, you can keyframe 4% there, 4% there, go forward, put it to 140, and then maybe you want to Twixtor when he aims in on the last shot or something. So like 2% there, going forward, 2% again, 150 there. And sometimes if there's not a lot of space between the beats, you might want to have a higher speed than 150, like 200 or maybe even 300, but not for longer times, just between the shots. Okay, so I see I have to move these forward because he shot a bit early. So there you see the shot comes. And you copy the gun sound, move it to the part, yeah, place where he shoots. And you Twixtor at the last shot. So this is, I'm just gonna preview it so you see how easy this really is, and it goes really fast when you know how to do it. When you finally learn how to do it fast, you will really use this. Okay, so that looks pretty good, and you saw how fast that went, like maybe 5 minutes or something, not more. It's really easy and simple syncing. So yeah, hopefully you learned something out of this tutorial, and leave a like and a comment on what you thought was good and maybe bad. And yeah, thank you guys, and have a good day.